Go and tell Lord Grenville that the tide is on the turn. It's time to haul the anchor up and leave the land astern. We'll be gone before the dawn returns, like voices on the wind. Go and tell Lord Grenville that our dreams have run aground. There's nothing here to keep us in this shanty town. None of us are caring where we're bound, like voices on the wind. And come the day you'll hear them saying they're throwing it all away. Nothing more to say, just throwing it all away. Go and fetch the captain's log and tear the pages out. We're on our way to nowhere now, can't bring the helm about. None of us are left in any doubt. We won't be back again. Send a message to the fleet, they'll search for us in vain. We won't be there among the reaches of the Spanish Main. Tell the ones we left home not to wait. We won't be back again, won't be back again, won't be back again, won't be back again. And come the day you'll hear them saying they're throwing it all away. Nothing more to say, just throwing it all away. That runs forever with no end. I never thought that we would come to find ourselves upon these rocks again. Oh no. Go and tell Lord Grenville that the tide is on the turn. boats go out across the evening water, smuggling guns and arms across the Spanish border. The wind whips up the waves aloud, the ghost moon sails among the clouds, turns the rifles into silver on the border. On my wall the colours of the maps are running. From Africa the winds they talk of change is coming. The torches flare up in the night, the hand that sets the farms alight to spread the word to those who are waiting on the border. In the village where I grew up nothing seems the same. Still you never see the change from day to day. No one notices the customs slip away. Late last night the rain was knocking on my window. I moved across the darkened room and in the lamp glow I thought I saw down in the street the spirit of the century, telling us that we're all standing on the border. In the islands where I grew up, nothing seems the same. It's just the patterns that remain, an empty shell. But there's a strangeness in the air you feel too well. Boats go out across the evening water, smuggling guns and arms across the Spanish border. The wind whips up the waves aloud, the ghost moon sails among the clouds, turns the rifles into silver on the border. On the border. On the border. On the border. Ticket and your hotel keys and your overnight bag at your feet. You're looking down on the tropical trees while the Spanish maids pick up the sheets. Conquistador in search of gold for all the jackdaw reasons. The Midas Shadow that's so hard to please and follows wherever you go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, they said, so you played for the winner takes all. Toss the dice high up and craned your head to see how the numbers would fall. You stole the game so easily. You luck ran with the seasons. Still the shadow that the night won't free just follows wherever you go. another day, another boarding card, as you wait for your seat on the plane. The movie runs, but you're still working hard, and you don't touch your food or champagne. I know that when your well runs dry, you'll want to know the reason. The empty night will bring you no reply, as it follows wherever you go. You always were a city kid, though you were country raised. And back in some forgotten time we shared the cold north days. But the simple life was not your style, and you just had to escape. So it's goodbye to my lady of the island. Remembrance Day, the bands all played, the bells pealed through the park, and you lay there by the do not signs and shamed them with your spark. Now winter moans in old men's bones as the day falls into dark, and it's goodbye to my lady of the island. It was just like this, behind the kisses you so soon swept away. Oh, I always knew that someday you'd be bound to just get pulled away. The summer sun beats on and on, the shops swim in the heat, and you're standing by the traffic signs with taxes at your feet. Well, I know that in your city skin you're feeling more complete. So it's goodbye to my lady of the islands. So it's goodbye to my lady of the islands. Can never be right if it doesn't come naturally, leave it. That's what she said as she turned out the light, and we bent our backs as slaves of the night. She lowered her guard, showed me the scars she got from trying to fight. Saying, oh, you better believe it. Well, I'm up to my neck in the crumbling wreckage of all that I wanted from life. When I looked for respect, all I got was neglect, though I swallowed the line as a sign of the times. But dealing a jack from the back of the pack, they and you just have to pay for it sometime. She said it before, she said it to me. I suppose she believed there was nothing to see but the same old four imaginary walls she built for living inside. I said, oh, you just can't mean it. Of the night, there was nowhere to hide anymore. She was out on a limb, she was reaching for things that you wanted but just couldn't say. And she had to be sure that you wouldn't get caught like before. One thing that's forced can never be right. If it doesn't come naturally, leave it. That's what she said as she turned out the light. And she may have been wrong and she may have been right, but I woke with a frost. I noticed she'd lost the veil that covered her eyes. I said, oh, you can leave it. With your photographs of Kitty Hawk and the biplanes on your wall, you were always Amy Johnson from the time that you were small. No schoolroom kept you grounded while your thoughts could get away. You were taking off in tiger moths, your wings against the brushstrokes of the day. Are you there on the tarmac with the winter in your hair? By the empty hangar doors you'd stop and stare. Leave the oil drums behind you, they won't care. Oh, are you there? Oh, you wrapped me up in a leather coat and you took me for a ride. We were drifting with the tailwind when the runway came in sight. The clouds came up to gather us and the cockpit turned to white. When I looked, the sky was empty. I suppose you never saw the landing lights. Are you there in your jacket with the grease stain of a tear? Caught up in the slipstream of the dam. The compass roads will guide you anywhere. Oh, are you there? the maps and diagrams that Leonardo makes. You can see faith, hope and charity as they bank above the fields. You can join the flying circus, you can touch the morning air against your wheels. Are you there? Do you have a thought for me that you can share? Oh, I never thought you'd take me unawares. Just call me if you ever need repairs. Oh, are you there? You told the man in the Broadway Hotel nothing was stranger than being yourself. And he replied with a tear in his eye, love was a roll away, just a cajole away, missed on a summer's day, nothing was clear. Love was a smile away, just a defile away, I sought it every way, no one came near. You asked the man for a room with a view, nothing was said as he stared at his shoe. Then he replied as he gave you the key, love was a roll away, just an unfold away, that's all there is to say, no one came near. Alone in your room you hide as the night rolls by in the street outside, and you feel over the words he said till they turn to rain all around your head. You're seeking a hideaway where the light of day doesn't touch your face, and a door sign keeps the world away behind the shades of your silent day. You made your home in the Broadway Hotel, room service came at the push of a bell, and the man said as he put down the tray, love was a steal away, just a reveal away, I tried to find a way, nothing was clear. Then as he turned away, you asked the man to stay, he was there all the day, no one came near. Seems to me as though I've been upon the stage before and juggled away the night for the same old crowd. These harlequins you see with me, they too have held the floor, as here once again they strut and they fret their out. I see those half familiar faces in the second row, ghost-like with the footlights in their eyes. But where or when we met like this last time, I just don't know. It's like a chord that rings and never dies. For infinity. And now these spigots in the wings with all their restless tunes are waiting around for someone to call their names. They walk the backstage corridors and prowl the dressing rooms and vanish to specks of light in the picture frames. But did they move upon the stage 1,000 years ago? In some play in Paris or Madrid? And was I there among them then, in some traveling show? And is it all still locked inside my head? For infinity. Some of you are harmonies to all the notes I play. Although we may not meet, still you know me well. While others talk in secret keys and transpose all I say, and nothing I do or try can get through the spell. So one more time we'll dim the lights and ring the curtain up and play again like all the times before. But far behind the music, you can almost hear the sounds of laughter, like the waves upon the shores of infinity. You go strolling through the crowd like Pete to Laura contemplating a crime. She comes out of the sun in a silk dress, running like a watercolor in the rain. Don't bother asking for explanation, she'll just tell you that she came in the year of the cat. Give you time for questions as she locks up your arm in hers, and you follow till your sense of which direction completely disappears. By the blue tiled walls near the market stalls, there's a hidden door she leads you to. These days, she says, I feel my life just like a river running through the year of the cat. While she looks at you so coolly, and her eyes shine like the moon in the sea. She comes in incense and patchouli. So you take her to find what's waiting inside the year of the cat. Still with her on the bus and the tourists are gone, and you've thrown away your choice and lost your ticket, so you have to stay on. But the drumbeat strains of the night remain, and the rhythm of the newborn day. You know sometime you're bound to leave her, but for now you're gonna stay in the year of the cat. Year of the cat. boats go out across the evening water, smuggling guns and arms across the Spanish border. The wind whips up the waves so loud, the ghost moon sails among the clouds, turns the rifles into silver on the border. On my wall, the colors of the maps are running. From Africa, the winds that talk of change is coming. Torches flare up in the night, the hand that sets the farms alight to spread the word to those who are waiting on the border. In the village where I grew up, nothing seems the same. You never see the change from day to day. No one notices the customs slip away. Well, late last night the rain was knocking on my window. I moved across the darkened room and in the lamp glow. Thought I heard down in the street the spirit of the century telling us we're all standing on the border. In the islands where I grew up, nothing seems the same. While the plantains just remain an empty shell. But there's a strangeness in the air you feel too well. Boats go out across the evening water, smuggling guns and arms across the Spanish border. The wind whips up the waves so loud, ghost moon sails among the clouds, turns the rifles into silver on the border. On the border. On the border. The border. Put one ear off and sing a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Started leaking and the stairs were squeaking. There was water running down the walls. So we took up the carpet, scrubbed down the pocket, then the drains overflowed in the hall. In the pub across the street it was 2 feet deep and the chairs were floating away. In the Chinese store all the food was on the floor and they were wondering who was going to pay. But it's alright now, she said, I'm a little bit tired, a little bit wet, but it's alright now, she said, though I believe I have the Belsize Blues. Conrad's Bistro, the night's a go-go with people talking over the fly. And Jenny from the news desk is looking at her shoes chest to see if she's avoided the mud. And Annie comes slowly with a pile of ravioli, fried chicken and the soup of the day. Moving around the tables is a little Betty Grable and the way she's got her hair today. But I'm alright now, she said, I'm a little bit tired, it's a little bit late. But I'm alright now, she said, though I believe I got the Belsize Blues. Philadelphia seems like a part of my dreams, and I cannot believe that I held the sleeve of the coat. But now the night is as clear as a chandelier, and the trees are turning the water into a moat. We finally got it cleared and the neighbors disappeared. We were sitting down for a rest when the TV blew and the lights all fused and the wine spilled over her dress. So I lit up a candle, poured out a brandy. I was trying to get into a groove, and I was kissing her chin when the roof fell in, and I decided I was gonna move. But I'm alright now, she said, I'm just a little bit tired, a little bit wet, but I'm alright now, she said, though I believe I got the Belsize Blues. That's as far as it goes now. Year of the Cat was my 7th album in England and my 3rd album in America. It followed Modern Times, which had nibbled at the top 30, and we had high hopes for it when we assembled in Abbey Road Studios in 1975. Alan Parsons was to be the producer, and we had a stellar lineup of musicians. Peter Wood had been the keyboard player with the Sutherland Brothers and Quiver. Tim Renwick had been their lead guitar player. They'd had a hit with a song called The Arms of Mary. Stuart Elliott was in Cockney Rebel. He'd been the drummer, and he was later to go on to join the Alan Parsons Project. And George Ford was the bass player. Now, George, amazingly, I'd seen when I was 13 years old. I'd gone to see a package show in Bristol. Duane Eddy was on it, Bobby Darin was on it, and there was an English band called Emil Ford and the Checkmates. Remarkably enough, Emil Ford was the brother of George Ford, and at the age of 17, he was the bass player of Emil Ford and the Checkmates. What Do You Want to Make Those Eyes at Me For? Had been a #1 hit for, quite a long time. That was fantastic to me, the fact that I'd met George Ford and he'd been in Emil Ford and the Checkmates. Peter White was the newcomer of the group. He was 20 years old, and we'd hired him as a piano player, and he was to go on to do something completely different, not on piano on this record. The first track on the album is Lord Grenville, which is one of my sea songs. I have a lot of these. Old Admirals on Past, Present and Future, Dark and the Rolling Sea on Modern Times, and this one about Sir Richard Grenville, who attacked an entire fleet of Spanish ships and got sunk for his troubles. Now, I don't know what you think about this, but my memory of this is trying to sing one very, very high note. Our time is just a point along a line that runs forever with no end. And this was just the most terrible part of my life, because I sang this for 2 hours and Alan Parsons kept looking at me and glowering through the glass at me, and I could not hit this high note. It drove me crazy. I think it drove him crazy too. So when you listen to this song, just think of me dying inside every time I tried to sing this line. The second song is On the Border. This one features Peter White playing Spanish guitar, which is interesting in itself because we hired him as a piano player, and I had no idea that he could play Spanish guitar. We were looking for a Spanish solo in a song that is set on the border between France and Spain, and Peter volunteered that he could do it and went out and, I think in one take, nailed down the solo, which is on the record. Peter has now made 8 solo albums, and he's become a vast star of smooth jazz in America, having records that have been in the Billboard charts for a year at a time. Midas Shadow is pretty straightforward. It's about the search for gold, the search for success, the search for tons of money. And I guess I was in a hotel, I think it was the Continental Hyatt House on Sunset Strip, and it was just a crazy place. Led Zeppelin were running around, and all the rock and roll bands of the day were there. And the Spanish maids, as I refer to them in the song, would come in and make up your bed in the morning, and they had absolutely no idea
who all these crazy people were. They would see Jimmy Page or Robert Plant, and they would, think, oh, I don't know, who, these people are crazy hippies. Well, these crazy hippies were making absolute fortunes and having these amazing times. And it was just the dichotomy between the laboring poor and the gilded rock and roll stars that caused me to write this song. The fourth song on the record is Sand in Your Shoes, which was my attempt at doing a folk rock song. I'd grown up listening to, all the mid-1960s folk rock things, Bob Dylan especially, like a Rolling Stone and everything of that ilk. And I wanted to write something in that style. And I was convinced that this would be the single. And I thought, well, to the extent that when we delivered the record, I went to the record company and said, please release Sand in Your Shoes as the single. And they did. In South Africa, and it was a hit in South Africa, but it was not a hit anywhere else in the world. This is the beginning and the end of my ability to pick singles. I have very little whatsoever, but I still think in some parallel universe somewhere this is a hit. Which brings us to If It Doesn't Come Naturally, Leave It. And we were all, I think, sitting around in a hotel room thinking about Bruce Springsteen. We've been listening to his records, and he had this run-along lyrical style that was in many ways reminiscent of Bob Dylan. And we were thinking, well, I wonder if I could write a song in that style. And so I began twanging the guitar, and I'm up to my neck in the crumbling wreckage of all that I wanted from life. Well, I looked for respect, and all I got was neglect, and I swallowed the line as a sign of the times. And writing in this meter, to me, was very much in the style of Springsteen and Dylan. And I was trying to, I think, write that kind of a song. I have no idea if I did, but that's what I was aiming at. This brings us to Flying Sorcery, which I think is my favorite track on the record. It's an extended metaphor. It seems to be about aeroplanes losing each other in a fog bank. And in fact, it's about lovers who, for whatever reason, part. I remember trying to write this song, and I was sitting at the piano trying to get the word aileron into the song. For ages and ages and ages. I mean, the only thing I knew about the song was I wanted it to have the word aileron in it, which it never did. I was reading a very, very old book about Sopwith camels, and there was a maneuver described in the book called a perfect Immelman turn, and at one point I wanted to call the song a perfect Immelman turn. I'm to this day not sure what that is, but it's an aeronautical maneuver. Apart from that, I just love the end of it. Call me if you ever need repairs. It just seems to say everything about relationships to me. Broadway Hotel is the token waltz on the album. It's a very strange song. It's about a woman who checks into a hotel in order to be alone, and she's alone for a little while, and she orders room service, and the man who comes up and brings the room service tray begins a lengthy relationship with her, and they lock themselves in the room for about a week, and they don't come out, and they order room service. It's one of these very strange things. But there's a kind of language in this song. Love was a roll away, just a cajole away. And it's just the way, love was a steal away, just a reveal away. And these things only work in 3/4 time. Roll away, steal away, cajole away, feel away, It to me, this is almost an exercise in language as much as it is an exercise in love relationships. One stage before is, I suppose, about reincarnation. Whenever you're on a stage, you think about, well, I don't know if everyone else does, but when I go out onto a stage, I look at the stage, I look at the floorboards underneath me, and I think about all the feet that have been on them before mine. I think that, when I was playing in a theatre in London, maybe Laurence Olivier or Peter Sellers or any of these people would have stood there and, they would have declaimed their speeches, and there I am in their place, and it's a phenomenal thought. And if you take this back a few hundred generations, what about Romans or Greeks standing in the same place doing the same thing? We all tread these boards, we all travel, we all turn to dust, other people replace us, and so on and so forth. And I think the essence of that is what forms this song. And finally, the last track of the record was Year of the Cat, which was a piano piece written by Peter Wood. Now, Peter had this riff that he kept playing over and over again, all the way through a tour that I was doing in 1975 with Linda Ronstadt. I was the opening act, and we went all over the southern states of America. And we got to, I think, Cincinnati. And I just kept hearing this blung, 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 blung. And eventually I went up to Peter and I said, I think this could be a song. Would you like me to put words to it? And he said, sure. So he taught me vaguely how to play it. And we came off tour and I went back and I had a piano and I had some idea what the chords were. And I started playing this and I could not for the life of me write any words to it. Nothing came. I had a girlfriend at the time who had a book on Vietnamese astrology, and it was open at a chapter called The Year of the Cat. And so then I had just that, The Year of the Cat. And for a while, those were the only words that I had. I tried to write it about The Year of the Cat, got nowhere, gave up, wrote an entire set of lyrics about Tony Hancock called Foot of the Stage, and then gave that up because no one in America had heard of Tony Hancock. Went back to Year of the Cat. And I think about a year after I began writing this song, I finally nailed down the lyric, which is all set in North Africa. It was a very, very long and difficult process of lyric writing. Everything else on this record was easier, but I guess it was a good idea.